hate my new job. When is too soon to quit? Welcome to Corporate Agony Aunt, the podcast that takes the agony out of career progression and gives you the straight talking advice you actually need to thrive at work. I'm Izzy, your Corporate Agony Aunt. Whether you're chasing a promotion, negotiating a pay rise, navigating office politics, or just figuring out your next career move, this is the place for the career highs, lows, the yeses and the nos. Hit subscribe wherever you're listening because your next big opportunity starts right here. Today we're talking making mistakes and joining companies that you already hate. Let's spill some corporate tea. In today's episode, we're tackling the tough question, when is too soon to quit a job you hate? Should you stick it out or is it time to walk away? Let's spill the corporate tea. Our first corporate dilemma is, dear Corporate Agony Aunt, I made a huge mistake at work. Am I doomed? Making a huge mistake at work can feel like the end of the world. But trust me, you're not doomed. If you've been listening, you should know by now that everyone makes mistakes. No one is perfect and mistakes are part of the learning process. The key is how you handle the situation afterwards. What matters most is your accountability you take for your actions, how to fix the issue, and what you learn from it moving forward. These are the steps that will determine whether or not the mistakes define your career or you define your career yourself. The first things first, you have to own up to the mistake. This is a crucial step because it shows you have integrity and maturity. I used to lie and try and hide my mistakes and it always bit me in the bum, worse than if I'd just admitted it. It's easy to want to deflect, blame others or avoid taking responsibility, but that will not get you anywhere. Mistakes are part of being human and acknowledging them is a sign of strength, not a weakness. By owning it, you demonstrate accountability and you'll earn respect from your colleagues and superiors. Avoid making excuses or shifting blame. Just simply say, I made a mistake and here is how I plan to fix it. Once you've owned the mistake, it's time to take action and fix the issue. This shows that you're a solution-orientated person and committed to making things right. If the mistake has caused problem for others, take proactive steps to mitigate the damage. And if you're not sure how to fix it, ask for guidance, but make sure you're taking the lead. You're the one being proactive. It will reflect positively on you because it shows that you're invested in resolving the issue and not just avoiding it. Actions really speak louder than words when it comes to mistakes. The way you resolve it can impact your reputation positively and negatively. The most important thing, though, after a mistake is to show that you've learned from it. It's normal to make errors, but repeating the same mistake is when it becomes a problem. Reflect on why it happened and figure out what you can do differently to prevent it from ever happening again. Share this with your boss or your team, explain the lessons you've learned and what steps you're going to take to ensure it won't happen again. And maybe it's about improving your process, asking more questions, communicating better, setting deadlines, doing lists, I don't know. But by taking these steps, you're showing growth and adaptability, which are key traits for a valuable employee. And here's the thing, your recovery matters far more than the mistake itself. Everyone has a blunder, whether it's sending an email to the wrong person, I have done that more times than I care to admit, missing a deadline or making the wrong decision. The real test isn't about the mistake itself, it's about how you bounce back. It's about showing that you can take responsibility, fix things, move forward with a better approach next time. How you recover from a mistake is far more important than the mistake itself. It's how you handle it. Handle it well and you'll come out of the situation with more respect than before. It's normal, okay? So just don't let it define you. Nobody gets through their career without making mistakes. And if you're looking at successful people, they have all had their share of very expensive failures and setbacks. It's not about being perfect. It's just about showing resilience, learning and growing. As long as you own mistakes, fix them, show growth, you'll continue to build your credibility and your reputation as someone who takes responsibility and strives to improve. Your recovery matters more than the mistake. The lesson here is so simple. You're not doomed, you're human. What matters is how you recover, show your accountability, act quickly and fix the problem. Use the experience to learn and grow. That's what separates you from those who flounder and those who rise above and continue to thrive in their careers. So take a deep breath, take responsibility and show the world how you handle setbacks. That's the true measure of your strength and potential. Our next corporate dilemma is, dear Corporate Agony Aunt, I just started a new job and I already regret it. Should I leave? Starting a new job is always exciting, but it can also come with a fair amount of uncertainty and even regret. Trust me, I know. Especially if things aren't going as expected. If you've only just started and already feel like you've made a mistake, don't panic. You're not alone and it's completely normal to have second thoughts. I once left a job after 6 weeks and I resigned in my pajamas. So please don't think we all get it right. I've got it wrong more times than I've got it right, but I'm still smiling. But before you make any drastic decisions, here's some advice. Give it 90 days. And I know I didn't take that advice myself. I'm glad I didn't. but most scenarios can be fixed in 90 days. The first 90 days in a new role are actually crucial because they allow you enough time to settle in and understand the job, the culture, and the team dynamics. During this period, you're still in the honeymoon phase. You might feel like you've made the wrong decision, but you're not seeing the full picture yet. This 90-day window will help you get a better sense of whether the issues you're facing are temporary teething problems, real long-term issues. Often the initial discomfort phase is you grow more familiar with your responsibilities and your colleagues, but you won't know this until you've had time to adapt. I had a colleague in my team who left the job not because she hated it, she was just ready for her next step up, her next promotion. She did her first week, she came to me, she was so upset, she begged and begged and begged for a job back. I didn't give it her because I knew that this next opportunity was going to be brilliant for her. It was just a bit of a culture shock because culturally the company was far different to the one we were working for. She has had, I think, 2 promotions since then. She's absolutely flying. She's always getting recommended and commended for her work. So please, please, please use that as an example. Just try and stick it out and see how it goes. Obviously, don't stay for too long. Before you do jump to any conclusions, just take a moment to reflect on what's making you regret your decision. Is it the work itself, the culture, your colleagues, perhaps the expectations of the role are not aligned with the reality? It's important to distinguish between surface level frustration and like a deep dissatisfaction. Sometimes the stress of starting something new, whether it's adjusting to new systems, getting used to different environments, or just like learning new names and faces, can create feelings of regret. But in many cases, that can be overcome with just time and effort. If you are feeling uncertain and you feel that you must talk to someone, it is worth having a conversation with your manager, but I wouldn't go to them with, I'm about to quit. I'd rather just get some feedback, take the approach of getting feedback and clarifying expectations. Sometimes just understanding how your role fits into the bigger picture or getting guidance on what's expected of you can help just ease your concerns. Don't keep all your worries bottled up. Having these conversations early on can actually help you reframe the situation and give clarity. And just be really honest with yourself. During your first 90 days, ask yourself the really, really hard questions that we very rarely ask. Are the challenges you're facing temporary, or do they feel like a fundamental misfit? Is the work environment draining you, or is it just an adjustment period? Do you see potential for growth here, or do you feel stuck in the mud? Sometimes, even though the role may feel tough or uncomfortable, there might be long-term growth and opportunities that make sticking it out worthwhile. But if after some reflection you feel that the job is genuinely not a good fit for your values, your skills, your career goals, that is also valuable insight as well. You just need to give yourself some space to adapt. And remember, you don't have to make any big decisions in the first few weeks. The transition into a new job can take time, and it's normal to feel completely overwhelmed and out of place initially. But you also need to give yourself space to grow, set realistic expectations, and just allow yourself to learn the job a little bit. Sometimes it's not so much about whether the job is perfect, it's about whether you're giving it enough time to uphold. It's about whether you're giving it enough time to unfold and see whether you can make the most of it. And patience really does pay off. You didn't get hired overnight, and you shouldn't expect to feel 100% comfortable in the role right away either. If you took 3 months in an interview process, give a job 3 months before you make any decisions. It just really takes time to understand how the organisation works and how the team collaborates and how you fit in. Lasting success and satisfaction often come from giving yourself the time to build confidence and mastery. So if the 90 days you're still unhappy or feeling like things aren't just gelling, then you can make more of an informed decision about whether it's time to move on. But remember, big moves need big patience. Starting a new job is a big move, and a big move requires patience. So rushing to leave would also be a big move, and it will require patience again to look for another job. Instead of acting impulsively, take the time to understand your new role and the people and see if you can give it your best shot before you jump ship. 90 days to reflect on what's gone wrong, see where the road takes you. Your long-term happiness and success, I promise you, are worth the wait. Next up, we have our corporate confessional session. This is where we make you all feel okay about the mistakes you make in your career, because we all make them. This is people who are anonymous, but I know are at the top of their career in the game that they're playing, and so the mistake has not defined them in any way, shape or form. This one is about pay. I shared information about my commission with someone I thought was a friend, and it led me to being fired. It was a massive mistake that still bothers me to date. I'm all about being open with pay, but other people aren't. She found out what my net pay was and she kicked off with the higher ups. I lost my income and learned who to trust and who not. A costly mistake, but no regrets now. Everything happens for a reason. So interestingly enough, this also happened to me, and it's because I was in a really social environment where I thought that everyone shared everything about everything, and I thought that the person I was sharing was definitely on more money than me and that I could confide in them. It turns out in that situation, neither of those things were true. If the person you're confiding in about your finances is on less money than you, then the likelihood is they'll leverage that to their own benefit. It's just work. It feels so personal. I nearly lost my job. It felt so personal, but it wasn't. Like, people go to work to get paid, and if your company has pay imbalances and you're bringing a spotlight to that, you're going to get reprimanded. So often I give this feedback and people say to me, well, we should all share our pay. It makes the world a better place. And I absolutely agree. But I'm not about to be the only person that does if the company does not have a pay transparency policy. Okay, so understand what the sentiment is around pay before you speak to anyone, even if you feel as though the person you've worked alongside for 3 years is your best mate and you can tell them what you're earning. If you're earning 10k more than them, they're not going to sit on that news and not do something about it, and then that's when you become exposed, okay? So learn from my mistake, learn from this person's mistake, keep your pay to yourself, even if you feel like it's the right thing to do. Just say you don't feel comfortable disclosing your pay. Can we talk about something else? Deflect and move on. Lastly, we're on to our interview power move masterclass, okay? And we're going to lean into CVs for the first part. Your CV is your first impression, and I need you to make it count. When it comes to job applications, your CV is the first thing that potential employees will see, so it's crucial to get it right. I'm going to guess about a few things that you're getting wrong and how you can fix it. The number one thing that I see is that the CV is too long. Okay, hiring managers and recruiters are busy. They might be screening 100 to 200 CVs a day, so your CV probably has 7 seconds to make an impact. And if you overwhelm them with a lengthy document, they're just going to move on to the next candidate. So keep it short. If you are struggling to cut it down, focus on recent roles and only include relevant experience. It's not necessary to go into detail about every job you've had, especially if it's not directly related to the role you're applying for. Prioritise your most relevant and recent work experience to skills that align with the job description. That way you'll keep your CV focused and impactful. Avoid at all costs generic buzzwords that add no value to your application. So things like, I'm a hardworking team player, or I'm an excellent communicator. It sounds so nice, but they're overused and there'll be 100 CVs with the same terminology. It doesn't add any value and it's a meaningless cliche, which doesn't really show your achievements. Instead of saying, for instance, I'm an excellent problem solver, try, I implemented a new scheduling system that reduced project delays by 30%. So using specific results-driven examples to demonstrate how you've applied that skill in real situations. It helps set you apart from the candidates and shows how you've contributed to your previous roles. CVs often have a lack of tangible results for me, and people might think, well, I don't produce results, I'm in this department, I'm in that department. Every department has objective key results and key performance indicators. Recruiters, CEOs, they love numbers. They want to quantify everything where possible. Adding numbers to your achievement helps recruiters understand the impact of your work. It shows that you're not just doing your job, but you're excelling at it. So where possible, provide concrete data and metrics and put them at the top. Key achievements, have measurable quantitative data that demonstrates your contribution for the company. So I'll give you another example. Instead of managed customer service team, led a customer support team of 10, improving response time by 50%. Adding very specific numbers, percentages or amounts where relevant makes your accomplishments tangible and shows that you can deliver measurable results. This is exactly what hiring managers want to see irrespective of what role you're in. Keep your CV clean, professional and easy to read. One of my biggest bugbears is when I can see that someone has spent ages making it look very colourful and gorgeous on Canva, but the content just isn't there. And what's more, if a company is using an applicant tracking system, a piece of software to scan CVs, Canva CVs are really hard to scan and the layouts are often not ATS friendly. So use really simple fonts like Arial or Calibri to make sure it's readable. Avoid text box and tables because they mess up with the ATS parsing, and stick to a clean, structured layout with clear headings and bullet points for easy skimming. Make sure the important information stands out, like your contact details, job titles and key achievements. And remember, your CV should be a short, results-driven, easy-to-read piece, not a memoir of your entire life, okay? 2 pages, top and bottom, that's all it needs to be. If you need any more help, though, there's a free CV template and a CV Experts ebook on the link in my bio or on my website, www.corporateagonyaunt.com. All the information you need is there. Just take a look and make sure you invest some time in it, because I promise you it's what makes you a difference between getting through the door or not. Final reminder when it comes to interviews, the interview does not start when you sit in the chair. It's the build up to that. Influence the room before you get into it. The power of LinkedIn, the quality of your CV, researching the panel, do the extras because nobody else does, and that's what stands you out in a crowded market. Next, we're on community questions, where producer Georgia gets your questions off socials and puts them into the room so we can answer them. What have we got today, producer Georgia?
Question 1 is, how do I get a graduate job without an internship experience?
A lot of people will apply for a grad job without internship experience, and that is the most frustrating thing for people because you feel as though you're on the back foot already. But actually, what you need to do is replicate what the outcome is of an internship. You probably can't replicate a 1-year internship, but what you can do is do part-time work, freelance work, free work if necessary, to build out your CV and create evidence and examples of your caliber and capability as a graduate. So do the extras, go to online courses, go to the networking events, rub shoulders with people, leverage your personal brand, reach out, do things that can run circles around those who've just done an internship. Think, if I was hiring me, what would make me stand out for a crowd? Do you not have a USP? If so, can you find it? What can you do that helps you stand out with those that have internships and those who do not? Don't focus on the lack of, and instead focus on what you have and what you can harness within your application.
Second question. My manager is micromanaging me and is burning me out. Any tips?
When you have a micromanager, you have to meet them where they are. A micromanager is typically insecure or does not want to lose control of the thing that they are responsible for. Also, you may have given them reason to micromanage you. Please don't forget that fact. I know we all think we're perfect, but we're not. When I have micromanagers, I meet them where they want to be met instead of where I hope to find them. So I'll turn up with regular updates without being asked. If they ask for something by Friday, I'll try and deliver it by close of pay Wednesday because I am getting ahead of their expectations. Similarly, when we have our weekly meeting, I will turn up with an agenda of prepared thoughts and feelings of what I need to discuss. I am not letting that micromanager dictate or determine the cadence at which we communicate. I am taking control of that. So that's a way in which you can change your patterns of communication to help prevent burnout. But then honestly, if you're at the point of burnout, that needs to be a very frank conversation. Georgia, I really enjoy working with you. I like our work together. I think we produce some amazing things, start with some flattery, but I really want to talk about how we can better work together so we have a better managerial relationship. At the moment, I am nearing burnout. I feel as though your management style is very close and requires a lot of proximity to what I'm doing, but I think I work better with some autonomy. Is there a project you can give me with autonomy so I can prove myself to help build your confidence in my capability so that we can move forward with less close management? See what they say, because burnout is not worth it. You don't need to people please, you don't need to appease. They're probably just insecure.
Thank you, that was so useful.
You're welcome.
Next question. I'm feeling stuck at a job with such low pay. I'm so burnt out and I want to take a break and start over. What do you suggest?
Taking a break is a really valid thing that we should all do in our careers. I've probably taken 2 career breaks, but mine have always been calculated breaks where I've tried to mitigate the risk. So I can appreciate how you're feeling right now, and I'm so sorry you're feeling that way, but taking a break without a financial plan will cause you more stress in the long run. If you can afford to take a break whereby you could have 8 weeks off, I would start applying for new things, get the new thing, tee that up for 2 months from then, and then have that gap between jobs. I would not just quit, take a break and then start again, because I think you'll find it more difficult than if you was to have a job. It's easier to find a job once you've got a job and then take a break than it is to do it the other way around. I would recommend, if you have some annual leave, take that annual leave. 90% of the annual leave should be spent looking at opportunities for your future, because you're going to have to do something. The low paying job is bothering you because of the low pay. Can you navigate something that might pay you a bit more? Can you navigate something that might make you a bit happier? But don't just go cold turkey, because I think you'll find it harder in the long run, and one day you'll miss that low paying shit job that you used to hate, but actually you'd really like the money. That's it for today. I really hope this episode helped to kickstart your career glow up. Do not forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss any of our future career tips and tricks. Share this with a friend who's also navigating their career journey or job hunt, and let's build an unstoppable community of professionals who know how to win in the corporate world. There are so many extra resources on my website or my bio, and until next time, thank you for tuning in to Corporate Agony Aunt.